Hello, in this short video we will show you how to install Gloo Platform Portal using Helm. The instructions can be found in my GitHub repository and I'll add a link to the description of this video. The prerequisites for this video are a Kubernetes cluster, which can be any kind, Minikube, EKS, OpenShift, etc. Helm installed on your local machine, a Gloo gateway license key that you can request through the Solo website, the kubectl command and optionally the meshctl command installed on your local machine. For this example video, we'll need to set a number of environment variables, in this case the Gloo version, the cluster name of the cluster that we're going to install, and the Gloo Platform license key. So let's set those environment variables first. My license key comes from a file, my local file system. And with the environment variable set, we can now add the Helm chart, so the Gloo Platform Helm chart repository to our local Helm installation, using the following command. So with the Gloo Platform Helm chart installed, we can now install the custom resource definitions of the solo.io Gloo platform. So we'll first show you that there are no solo APIs, so CRDs installed yet on the cluster. And now we can install the CRDs using Helm. And this is a very quick operation, and when we now check the API resources of our Kubernetes cluster, we can see that there are now Solo.io Gloo Platform CRDs defined. Next, we need to create a Helm values file for the Gloo Platform Helm chart, and this controls, for example, whether the Gloo agent needs to be installed, the Gloo management server, the portal server, etc., etc. So with this command, we create this file on our local file system. And when we execute the command, we can see the file on our file system with the configuration options that we require for our installation. So next we need to create the Gloo Mesh add-ons namespace. This is required for the Helm chart to successfully install. And with the namespace created, we can now install the Gloo platform using our Helm installation command, as you can see here. And we use the values file that we just created, as you can see. So we run the installation. This can take a minute or two. So we'll fast forward. And when we do a meshctl check, we can use our meshctl command line to see whether the platform has been installed correctly. We will now deploy a Gloo Platform Portal deployment for the hostname developer.example.com. And next, to make the portal accessible from the outside, we need to create a virtual gateway, also for developer.example.com host. And next, we also need to define a route table that tells the gateway how to route requests from the outside world for developer.example.com to the portal server deployment that we just created. So again, we copy the command and we create the route table. And now we can check whether the portal server is actually accessible. So I've configured everything on developer.example.com, which in my case routes to my local host. So in my host file, I've configured that developer.example.com should route to 127.0.0.1. And when we now look at the Kubernetes deployment, we can see that our Gloo Mesh portal server is up and running. And when we now curl our portal server, we can see that the portal server is actually there, but there's no configuration found yet. And that's because we have not yet deployed any APIs to our portal server. So this was a quick example how to install Gloo Platform Portal using Helm. I hope to see you in the next video where we're going to deploy some APIs.